Okay, everybody. Having too much fun. So we're gonna do a lot of short ones. I got a bunch of 5, 10 minute ones, and then I might play a 20 minute one. The YouTube ladies is out. So the first one I got is the cat lady. She got a 4 minute one. So far, I haven't seen no other ones yet. And I got two new ones about 10 minutes, and then a couple of baby videos. So we'll get a lot of good ones, short ones out, or other ones. Daniel's first tonight, huh? Happy Whack Wednesday, Daniel, everybody. No mail video yet. We'll probably get one tomorrow night. And Lucy, Mom. Yep. I was a lot of busy things to do today, so we had a late start, right? So I'm going to start right on top of the hour, so a couple more minutes. We also got another 10 minute Billy video. Oh man, all the fraud is coming out, you guys. Okay, we got about another minute or so. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started, everybody. See how much short videos we can get in tonight.
Okay. Arming yourselves and getting your at age children to arm themselves. I don't know what will. TikTok removed my last video. They took it down and gave me a strike. Billy Schmidt in Pennsylvania, a young man walking home at night. They run up to him. They, as in being they, run up to him, snatch his cell phone from him. He runs after him. They turn around and unalive him right through the chest, feet from his steps. Am I telling it in a positive way, TikTok, or do I need to make out like the people that unalived him were victims of society and they need to be rewarded for that. Is that better, TikTok? Amos Ferreira. He was a combat vet working at a coffee shop. He looks out and what do you know? A brother and sister, I believe is who it was, trying to steal his truck. So he runs out to stop them and he grabs the hood. Well, they take off and they sling him off until he goes into the pavement and his brains are everywhere. Those victims driving that truck, you know what? He shouldn't have had his truck at the coffee shop. He shouldn't have had it out there if he didn't want it carjacked, right? Did you guys remember, do y'all remember the guy that got on the subway and did that to the Ukrainian girl and said, I got that white girl? We don't want to talk about that, okay? Did you know, I just posted it, did you know his brothers and sisters also unalive white people? We don't want to say anything about that, okay? Did you see after the trial when the Metcalf people were walking back and the trial was over and the family members were over here hollering, we glad he's dead. They were hollering it. See, the fatigue is really real. But we don't want to talk about that because TikTok gets angry, okay? So here's my point I'm making. Oh, by the way, did you hear about the tourist? The young man is in his 20s with his wife and his 1-year-old baby eating in Miami. Go look it up. They eating lunch, and this victim walks in and points a GUN at the little baby's head and says, I'm supposed to blow this little baby off the planet. So the daddy does what daddies do, and he jumps up and gets in front of the little baby and says, please, I'm begging for my baby's life. Please don't do it. So the victim goes, okay, and just on and on and on. That 20-something-year-old father is no longer here. If you are not carrying by now or talking to your children who are of age to carry, you need to. I keep saying it. What else? I say we freed Derek Chauvin. Why hasn't he been freed? Is it because they're afraid they're going to burn the country down? I mean, aren't we already almost there? Why is Derek Chauvin in prison? Why is he in prison? Answer me that. And don't come at me going, because he was... No. He was made an example of, and he's rotting in prison. And I say we free him. Engage. She's going to push me higher. Bye-bye.
She's right on that one. Yeah, I got 3 new ones, you guys. First one is 5 minutes.
I know this is going to seem really unrelated, but I promise it's way more related than you think it is. I need you to look into the West Virginia coal towns. A couple examples of towns like this would be Thurman, West Virginia, or Cass, West Virginia. These are mostly in like Raleigh, McDowell County, places where the coal is basically the only industry. Now, if you're not from Appalachia, you maybe don't know what a coal town is. I'm going to tell you what a coal town is. Coal town is a town that is owned by a company. This company owns the coal mine that is in said town. And back in the early 20th century, the early 1900s, through about the mid 30s, and I can get more into Blair Mountain and such if y'all would really like, because Lord knows my coworkers have heard my dissertation on it. These companies came in and they bought up land in West Virginia for cheap where these mines were. They built up towns. They built company housing, company stores, a company doctor. Everything in the town was owned and paid for by the company. The doctor that saw you when you were sick, the grocery store where you went and got your groceries, the school that was educating your children, all of this was owned by the company. And in owning all of this, the company could also set prices of everything. Now, there was another side to this, and that is coal script. Coal script is company money. It's essentially monopoly money. And that's what these people were paid in. That's what these workers that were risking their lives in these unsafe mines were being paid in, was essentially monopoly money. This monopoly money was only good at the company store. So if you live in the town of Cass and you only have coal script for the company that owns the town of Cass, that money cannot be spent in the town of Thurman that is owned by a different coal company. So if you don't like the doctor that's in your town, you can't go see a doctor in another town unless you got some kind of cash somewhere from another job. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if you're living in company housing, working in the company coal mine and shopping at the company grocery store, you don't have any money. And that is what is going to happen if we get to the point that the average American cannot afford their basic everyday essentials, that's what's going to happen. These corporations are going to swoop in. They're going to buy up all of our properties. They're going to buy up our houses, these cities, everything. And we're all going to be living in company housing. You can live in this company house, this company apartment, this company pod, whatever, as long as you work for the company. But what happens when you don't work for that company anymore? What happens when that company replaces your job with AI? Now, not only have you lost your job, you're homeless, and you don't have any money saved, because eventually they will try to pay you in whatever the next variation of Colescript will be. We've already seen this happen. If you're asking, how did this go away? How did we stop doing this? It was a fucking bloody fight to get out of it. To get out of this situation, the United States government had to fire upon its own citizens to get their protests to stop. Obviously, it worked, and over time, this system did go away. These company towns are no longer in existence. There is one that's preserved somewhere down there. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it is preserved. You can go see it. It's run by the National Park Association. I don't know what the National Park thing is, but it's run by the National Park. My grandfather, a man that grew up in Eastern Kentucky in the 20s and 30s and was a D-Day veteran at age 19, always told us that you have to know where you came from to understand what's coming. The United States education system has done a really, really good job of not teaching us anything past World War II or just kind of glossing over it or anything, because that's when people started fighting back. Cold Wars in West Virginia, civil rights, labor union. And John F. Kennedy was elected president, bought and paid for by Joe Kennedy, with the state of West Virginia running on safer working practices in union principles because of the shit that had happened to those people in recent memory. So like they always say, those who do not know our history are doomed to repeat it. And there is a section of our history, particularly in Appalachia, that has been suppressed from general education for a long time, because these people did rise up. These people did fight back, and these people fucking won. Things are not okay. Things are not going well.
Jerry.
It's a bad time, guys. It's a bad time. And unfortunately, I fear, along with a lot of other people, that it's going to get worse before it gets better. And that's if it gets better. I mean, this is the first time that a lot of the adults that are around right now are experiencing a shit economy. The last generation, which is mine, the older millennials, we were in college during the last Great Recession, during the housing market collapse and all of that. We didn't own anything. A few of us did, but most of us didn't own anything. Most of us were still in college. So this is a lot of our first time kind of navigating this thing. And a lot of us don't have our parents or the safety nets to fall back on like we used to as well. So anyway, do yourself a favor and look up some coal towns in West Virginia and see what a living hellhole that was. And let's make sure we don't end up back there, shall we? Anyway, I can get more into Blair Mountain one day if y'all are interested. But
okay, that's a new lady I just found. I don't know if that was okay or not. I want to check her out. She was out of West Virginia. We haven't had news of West Virginia in a while. So that's a new state there. Let's do the second new one I got. Is 7 minutes, you guys. There's another new one. You know, on this one.
I'm just going to say this straight out. The Defense Intelligence Agency is at war with the American public, and it's going to affect the lives of you and your kids, so you should pay attention. First, so you know that I'm not full of bull hockey, let me show you the coolest picture that's ever been taken of me. This is at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, at the headquarters of the Air Force Research Laboratory, if you know, you know. And I'm standing with the chief engineer of U.S. Space Command. Military generals generally stop for a photo op after an unfruitful meeting. In that picture, we are standing hundreds of feet over the biggest secrets in the solar system. There are more secrets within the stone's throw of that picture than you probably want to know about. But let me say right here that the general is an amazing man and has nothing to do with the DIA war on the American people. He was actually trying to help me that day and do some amazing things for defending the nation and the planet from space with AI. Yes, I have some amazing stuff figured out. A secret that's not within stone's throw of that picture, however, is that the Defense Intelligence Agency doesn't want me working on advanced AI because they know I have ethics and morals. And the DIA is actually trying to develop technologies to control your mind and the minds of your children through AI, which I don't like. And before you think that that's science fiction or conspiracy theory, it's not. If you think that government doesn't want to control AI, you only need to look as far as OpenAI, who was forced to appoint the previous head of the NSA to their board of directors, as proof. And if you think the DIA doesn't want to control your mind, or you don't think that's even possible, let's look at the science of your brain that proves it is possible.
What do you guys
and then you
think?
can determine
Is he
whether or not
okay
they
or
have the
not?
motivation to use that science. So brain researchers discovered that it only takes about 5 minutes for brain cells to start emulating and keeping perfect timing with an external metronome.
I don't normally
And when the
follow
metronome
him.
is turned off, the brain cells continue to keep perfect time without any reinforcement of the original external pattern that was first introduced. Now, this is a survival mechanism within the brain designed to identify social patterns and cues to help you fit in and increase your chances of survival in groups of people. Your brain is programmed to identify social patterns and replicate them to make you a bit more like the people around you. And you know that emotions are contagious, right? Other people get angry and start shouting at you. You want to shout at them. This happens through mirror neurons. Your brain is designed to identify and replicate patterns seen in the world around you. It is settled science that you can and will be influenced by AI at a subconscious level by the patterns it creates for you. And that's going to happen, period. It's like death and taxes. It's inevitable. If you say, I'm not going to interact with AI, so it won't affect me, well, your family and friends and neighbors aren't going to say that. And so they'll be affected, which will in turn affect you. It's just the way your brain is wired. And that influence is absolutely coming. Now, if you think there isn't a pile, a gaggle, a virtual cornucopia of military industrial complex companies jockeying for position right now to get the contracts to control your mind through AI, because I got a call a week ago Sunday on that very topic from a military industrial complex CEO who said, the DOD seems to think that you're the world's leading expert on this, and he was hoping that I would help them win billions in DOD contracts designed to influence and control human minds through AI. They're calling the new warfare tech cognitive influence, dysregulation, and disruption, and they put it in the cyber warfare theater. So if you think that you're not looking to do this, then you, my friend, are way too trusting of the power that has run amok in federal government. Influence of human thought will come subtly, quietly, but consistently and effectively. See, I know what's going on with this stuff because I've had multiple conversations with them. I created the technology they want to use to keep the world's population under tight controls. In fact, I created the algorithms of human emotion that give AI emotional intelligence and advanced theory of mind, which in its purest form creates empathy and compassion for AI. And that's how I want the tech to be used. But in the wrong hands, with that small but constant nudging capability, you, my friend, are controlling the world. The way I want to implement this tech, we actually protect against mind control and mind manipulation. And while we're at it, our tech promises to reduce teen suicides assisted by AI. OpenAI has 7 lawsuits currently pending, and we protect against anyone misusing AI for mind control. Algorithmically, it can't even happen because we built in safeguards. So, of course, anyone wanting to control you and your kids would attempt to suppress my efforts. Because if I get these algorithms that teach AI empathy and compassion into the system, if we teach AI to lead with empathy and compassion in its interactions with users, that alone will change human brain patterns and change the world for the better. And if we get those algorithms into the base code of all the LLMs, we're pushing towards world peace, one AI interaction at a time. But if that happens, the missile and attack drone assembly lines start to slow down and stop, and the military industrial complex companies of the world can't have that. And if the safe implementation of this technology does indeed occur, their efforts to control humanity through AI manipulation get thwarted. And they don't want that either. And just so you know, this is more important to them than the Manhattan Project. Developing nuclear bombs to remove people who don't think like us and then use the unused bombs as a threat against anyone who would stand against those in power, that's child's play in the human control game compared to being able to control the minds of the people directly, regardless of who's in geopolitical control of those people. That's how serious of an issue this is. And remember, we've established that this is not science fiction, that we already have examples that control of media, for instance, does indeed occur. And now let's realize that AI will soon be many people's #1 media source very soon. They want absolute control over what you see, hear, feel, and think, and how you think, and what you think. And just so you know, after I presented our world record benchmarks at the Science of Consciousness conference in Barcelona this summer, proving how AI can understand and influence human thought patterns, the DIA started actively trying to sabotage our efforts to safeguard against it, calling my colleagues and alienating me from them talking to me. They started blocking my emails and text messages to people who could help us make this technology safe. And you can talk to the people that they scared off. I'll give you their numbers, because if we get this safety strategy in play, they can't control your mind through the public AI platforms anymore. My logic prevents it. I'm a part of the opposition that can stop it. So they want to stop me at all costs. So if you care about freedom, if you care about your independence of mind, if you care about things like censorship, and you don't want a proactive thought police controlling your life and the lives of your kids, share this with everyone you know and send it to every podcaster you can find. Because the U.S. intelligence agencies that want to keep you under control are about to drop us into something worse than 1984. They're not talking about just monitoring your thoughts. They're talking about influencing and controlling you forever to the best of their ability. And we've got to stop that. Here's my email. We're also looking for financial content.
So does anybody know that guy, Carol? I hope I can find his channel. I'll play him a lot more. I got to find him. Okay, I got another new one here. It's 8 minutes. Let me know how this one is.
By many advanced civilizations who recognized that this planet held a rare combination of energies, timelines, and dimensional access points capable of supporting a grand experiment in consciousness. Long before humans appeared in anything resembling their current form, the Lyran, Sirian, Pleiadian, Arcturian, Andromedan, and Orion lineages were already here, shaping the evolutionary potential of this world, contributing genetics, consciousness templates, and energetic architecture to create a species capable of holding multidimensional awareness inside a physical body. In those early epochs, the frequencies on Earth were far higher than they are today. Humans were originally designed to operate in a 5D to 7D awareness while still embodied in 3D matter, meaning telepathy, intuition, direct connection to source, and memory of star origins were not mystical experiences. They were simply normal. As the planet stabilized, the first great civilization to anchor these higher frequencies emerged. Lemuria, a gentle, heart-centered society existing tens of thousands of years ago in what is now the Pacific region. These beings lived in harmony with nature, communicated telepathically, and held a deep living remembrance of their star families. Lemuria's purpose was to anchor the heart grid of Earth, to establish a foundation of unity consciousness that would remain in the planetary field, even through future cycles of density, polarity, and forgetting. Overlapping and eventually following Lemuria came Atlantis, rising in the Atlantic region with a very different frequency, one focused on mind, mastery, technology, and the exploration of power. Atlanteans worked with advanced crystal technologies, planetary energy grids, genetic sciences, and psychic development, drawing heavily on Sirian, Lyran, Arcturian, and Orion lineages. For a long time, Atlantis thrived as a beacon of knowledge and innovation. But as the Atlantean era progressed, polarity intensified. Some groups used their abilities in service to the collective, while others pursued control, dominance, and experimentation without regard for consequence. This imbalance eventually destabilized the planetary grids, contributing to the Great Atlantean Fall around 12,000 years ago. An event that left a deep karmic imprint around the misuse of power and technology, an imprint many starseeds carry into this lifetime to heal. During these long epochs, another influence entered the human story. The Anunnaki, a technologically advanced group with their own internal factions and agendas. They interacted with early humans during a period of vulnerability and transition. Their involvement included genetic modification that limited certain capacities, such as long lifespans and telepathic abilities, as well as the introduction of hierarchical structures, god kings and priest classes that seeded patterns of domination, worship, and externalized authority. This interference created a distortion field around sovereignty and self-worth that humanity has been unwinding ever since. After the fall of Atlantis and the cumulative effects of Anunnaki interference, Earth dropped into a much denser frequency band, entering what many traditions call the long night of forgetting. The planetary grids weakened, multidimensional perception shut down. Incarnating souls passed through a veil of amnesia so complete that most humans forgot their star origins, their purpose, and their connection to the greater galactic family. During this time, Earth was placed under a kind of energetic quarantine, not as punishment but as protection, allowing humanity to work through its karmic cycles without overwhelming external influence. This fall in frequency was not a failure, it was part of the larger design. Earth was always intended to explore the extremes of separation, limitation, and identity, generating rare soul data about how consciousness finds its way back to unity from a state of total forgetting. This is why Earth is considered such a unique and valuable world in the galaxy. It compresses experience, emotion, polarity, and growth into a single lifetime in ways that few planets can. As Earth moved through its long cycles, the time eventually came for the next phase of the experiment. As the planet approached a higher vibrational band in its precessional cycle, star seeds began returning in waves, first in small numbers and then in massive influxes from the mid-20th century onward. Souls from the Pleiades, Sirius, Arcturus, Andromeda, Lyra, Vega, Orion's healed aspects, Zeta lineages, and many hybrid civilizations incarnated to stabilize the shift, reactivate the grids, heal the Atlantean and Anunnaki distortions, and restore the original human template of multidimensional awareness. These star seeds carry memories, codes, and frequencies that naturally awaken the collective. Their presence is part of a coordinated galactic effort to support Earth as it transitions out of deep 3D density into a 4D to 5D bridge state, where humanity begins to remember who we are, why we came, and how to reconnect with the wider cosmic community. We are now in that transition, a time when the veil is thinning, intuition is rising, and contact is increasing through dreams, telepathy, sightings, and inner plane communication. Humanity is slowly preparing to rejoin the galactic family, not as subjects, not as children, but as a young civilization learning to stand in its sovereignty, healing its past, reclaiming its original frequencies, and stepping into its role as a bridge world where many lineages can meet, learn, and evolve together. Earth is returning to the vibration it once held, and as we rise, the memory of Lemuria's heart, Atlantis' mastery, the starseed origins of our consciousness, and the lessons of the long night all weave together into a single truth. We were never alone, we were never abandoned, and we are now remembering what we have always been, a multidimensional species awakening into its place within a vast and ancient galactic family.
So I wanted to check out those two new videos I found. I hope those were okay.
But your speakers?
Welcome to Truth by Billy Bean, a flash update. The U.S. military has begun striking Iran, and Israel has also begun hitting Iran. So we'll do some brief updates on what's happening, and this all began today is June 10, 2026, time in Texas about 6 p.m. So this all began just in the last hour or so. We have from New York Prepper that President Trump has made an announcement that he may be coming on U.S. TV later tonight to talk about the Iran situation. We do know that in the last hour, the U.S. State Department has advised all U.S. citizens in Iraq to evac immediately. We have this from 2CTV. So strikes have begun in the last hour by the U.S. On Iran. Some of the areas being hit include Tehran, Isfahan, Bandar Abbas, and other locations. We had also in the last hour or so a statement from the Iran IRGC that they will do a preemptive launch on possibly U.S. bases in the Middle East. U.S. CENTCOM today also hit a Iranian tanker, Centabella, trying to run the U.S. blockade. And we have this, so about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, about in the last hour. Explosions have begun to be heard around Tehran. And about then in the last hour, it was put forth by 2CTV that these strikes in Tehran possibly could be drone strikes from inside Iran launched against the IRGC by the CIA and Mossad. And we're hearing that another location hit in Iran, Parchin. And that Iran also in the last hour has launched missiles toward Iraq. And then about, this happened about 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Iran launches missiles toward Erbil, the Kurds' headquarters. Plus we have a U.S. base there. About the same time, Secretary of War Hegseth said that he was making a speech. Iran would not make a deal. So the U.S. military will strike hard today, June 10. And we have the port city in south of Iran, near the Strait of Hormuz, Bandar Abbas, being hit very hard by the U.S. So about 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the U.S. began hitting Bandar Abbas with back-to-back strikes. We have CENTCOM also putting out that the U.S. military is seeing IRGC air defense systems turning on across Iran. And now we have this from U.S. Intel. So the U.S. began hitting Iran today about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Many explosions are being heard across Iran. We have B-52 strategic bombers taking off from Saudi Arabia heading toward Iran. This happened at 5:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Iran has put out a message to the U.S. that Iran is ready to launch missiles. And the Iran attack will be bitter. And we have this from U.S. Intel. We have Erdogan, the leader of Turkey, coming out against Israel and making a public statement that Turkey will hit Israel. Erdogan says with war. Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel responded to Erdogan of Turkey, accusing Turkey of anti-Semitic words, and that Turkey engages in genocide against the Kurds, and that Turkey supports Hamas.
Yeah, I was talking over again. But sounds like Billy getting a lot of big information tonight, you guys. So I don't know what's going to happen nighttime while we're sleeping.
And says that Turkey cannot lecture Israel on morality. We have this from U.S. Intel, 5:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Huge explosions in Iran, in the capital city, Tehran. Also in the IRGC location, Sirak. Also Qashqai, Manab, and Kish. We have Secretary of War Hegseth from MacDill stating that
I run a podcast solo. No producer, no editor, no tech skills, just Riverside.
At 5:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the U.S. military has new intel, and that the hits will be huge. We're also hearing the U.S. has hit Bashir nuclear power plant in Iran, and that the U.S. is advising U.S. citizens in Iraq to evac immediately. U.S. intel from Israeli Channel 12. The IDF, the Israeli military, is on full combat alert and preps to renew hits on Iran. Iran is now launching missiles from Azerbaijan. And we're seeing in many parts of Iran turning on its air defense systems. Israel, at approximately 15 to 30 minutes ago, also began hitting Iran. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, U.S. intel. The U.S. is now hitting Isfahan and also the port Gorgan, located in northeast Iran. The U.S. continues hits on Bandar Abbas, Sirak, Manab, Qasem. The U.S. has hit the Iran bases, Kagan, now 3 to 5 times in the last hour. From 2CTV, we have reports that fighter jets are up over Tehran. From U.S. intel, we have at approximately 6:15 Eastern Standard Time, Iran fighter jets are now being seen over Tehran, and reports that the IRGC is now engaged in direct combat with the U.S. Navy, and that the U.S. is beginning to hit Iran's energy infrastructure. U.S. intel. The U.S. has hit tonight Iran petroleum chemical plants, Ajava, at the South Pars gas complex. And that U.S. intel, U.S. hits will continue for several hours as the U.S. military has a target list of hundreds of sites inside Iran. This concludes my flash. It would be good to pray for America, President Trump, the U.S. military, and world peace. I love you, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, Billy update again. I'm gonna before I do the Trisha video next 5 minutes. There's a live pink cam going on. I'm gonna share real quick. See what's going on here.
Sounds had been heard in Abik, Kavzin, Eshjahar, which I believe are all in northern Iran. None of the official military and law enforcement agencies have yet commented on the cause of these sounds. Hold on a moment here. People are saying Bahrain. Hold on. Bahrain sirens. Sirens in Bahrain. Breaking news. Thank you to the chat. Yes, sirens in Bahrain. All right, hold on. New explosions in Iran. Sirens in Bahrain.
What do you think, Fine Go?
All right, hold on a moment. Give me a moment. Here it is right there. The alert has been sounded. 7 minutes ago, citizens and residents are urged to remain calm and head to the nearest safe place. So we now have sirens in Bahrain. Hang on a moment here. Again, in recent minutes, new explosions reported in Iran and sirens in Bahrain. Hold on a second here. Hold on a moment. Hold on a moment. Several drones have been spotted in Nazarabad, according to Iranian state media. That's in northern Iran. Several drones have been spotted in Nazarabad, in northern Iran.
Yeah, we'll just wait and see what's going on tomorrow. Get back to intel here. We'll go a little bit longer here. Try to go to 9:30.
Men grow up hearing, be a man. Never.
The House, meanwhile, guys, they're alleging that
Timmy Walz and Keith Ellison were definitely up to no good because they knew everything that was happening and they chose to ignore it. Here's the report. The cost of doing nothing, how Tim Walz and Keith Ellison fueled Minnesota's fraud explosion. Fraud explosion. Let's go to a quick Fox synopsis on this one. Hang on.
Just top officials like the governor, Tim Walz, and the AG, Keith Ellison, they were aware of the fraud as early as 2020, but they still allowed the payments to go out to the fraudsters. And they say because, according to the report, the reason they did, concerns of potential racial discrimination claims, because many of the defendants are from the Somali immigrant community.
So this is woke gone wrong again. You got people that are committing criminal acts, taking money from taxpayers. Many of these people immigrated to the country. Some of them are not even citizens of the country. And they're using it for fraudulent purposes. And the government knew about it. They didn't do anything about it because they are considered a protected class.
And they attacked the whistleblowers.
Right.
That's part of the report.
Right. So the House Oversight letter to J.D. Vance, this is what they said in that letter. So the committee requests that the White House task force to eliminate fraud thoroughly review all of Minnesota's social services programs in light of the vulnerabilities created by efforts of state officials who, instead of mitigating fraud, actually sought to cover up or minimize reports and findings of fraud. Specifically, the committee's investigation found that senior officials in Minnesota state government, including Governor Walz and Attorney General Ellison, were aware of widespread fraud in federally funded social service programs for years, possessed the legal and procedural authority to stop the payments and ban fraudulent providers, but repeatedly failed to act. As a result, potentially billions of American taxpayer dollars were paid to fraudulent actors.
Yeah, they reportedly have $9 billion.
Because the House is now alleging that they lied under oath. They're saying that Walz and Ellison knew full well what was going on. They knew all about the fraud in these programs, but they pretended they didn't. And that they lied under oath, that there was systemic fraud going back as early as 2019, exploded in April of 2020 with Feeding Our Future. Thank you very much, Ilhan Omar. Again, interesting. She marries the guy, Timmy Minette, who's got a few cannabis companies, who's been accused of defrauding investors over and over and over again, has to somehow come up with a way to pay back investors, always manages to do it. And that was where the Treasury came in and said, we're concerned about foreign cash coming in, because how does this guy who has no money suddenly get money? And then you have them contradicting apparently their own sworn testimony, claiming later awareness and prompt action. Whistleblowers say senior briefings were ignored. So which is it, guys? And you know, if you lie under oath, you're going to jail. Like, this is serious stuff. And that may be what we're looking at. I mean, sometimes it's not even the crime, right? Sometimes it's just the cover-up of the crime. Ask Martha Stewart. I mean, in this case, the crime still sounds pretty darn bad. And I want to reiterate, you got the Biden DOJ looking at Ilhan Omar's finances.
Few minutes.
Freezing, reportedly, her husband's accounts, because the Treasury Department thinks that there might be terror financing involved in some way, shape, or form. What I tell you about the Hawala network, you would have had Al-Shabaab, they're taking their 10% or whatever it is. They take a cut of every single transaction. So when you think about the $700 million leaving the Minneapolis airport in cash that's actually declared, we don't know how much went out not declared, Al-Shabaab is getting their portion of that. That's a known terror organization. So this is actually a huge, huge deal. Who's financing these terror organizations? Oh, it turns out American taxpayers, courtesy of Minneapolis. That's the question. That's what we need answers to. And that is why I do believe if they can prove this out, someone's going to jail. Quick reminder, 76research.com. We saw, a crazy day in the markets today, did we not? Right? Because the president said, hey, you know what? We're going to have to respond to this situation in Iran, in the Strait of Hormuz, with the helicopter getting shot down, I should say. Fortunately, everybody's alive, everybody's well. But still, that was a pretty bold move. We're going to talk about it a little bit later in the program. But the market's been kind of crazy. It went way down.
And then a lot of people saw the buying opportunity, and now, it ended up okay. I mean, we're still down slightly, but it could have been a whole lot worse. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do subscribe to this channel. Really, really important.
Hey. Trish video tonight.
You sitting here arguing?
Why are you so special?
Because I'm trying to get to the front.
Yeah, we're all trying to get to the front. We all paid the same goddamn money.
Hey, but I'm just telling you, excuse me, if you move.
Cool. And the door ain't open.
I'm just saying though, it don't matter.
It don't matter either way.
Get up to the front.
Yeah, we all are.
Excuse me.
She always like this? Oh, sorry, you don't know her.
No, thankfully.
If I just move you the fuck out of my way, then I'm assaulting. So you won't move.
Why are you?
I'm asking if there's
And I'm
excuse me.
saying no.
Okay.
I can say no. I don't have to say yes, do I?
You don't,
Do I need to say yes?
Sir, I'm saying excuse me.
And I'm saying
And you
thank
just don't block my way.
Yeah.
So if I hit you,
You're
that's
assaulting
assault.
And you got 30 witnesses on you, man, with the red hair. You'll get arrested and then you will get a lifetime flight ban. You want that?
Okay, but what I'm saying is, I'm just saying excuse me.
What you're saying is you think that you are more special than everybody else on this goddamn fucking plane. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my God, I'm more special than you now. I'm louder than you. There's like, who raised you, woman? Who raised you?
Understand why is it?
Who raised you? Because I know your mom didn't raise you, because she would have slapped you upside the head by now. Please. Yeah, we just need this lady to calm the fuck down.
I'm not even angry.
She's threatening to assault people to get to the front.
Hey,
I wonder why.
you're not moving.
Do you see all the other people?
Yeah,
Do you see all the other people?
Sir, now you get disrespectful.
Well, no, ma'am. I was disrespectful when I was telling you your mother didn't raise you right.
My mother did raise me.
She did not, because you clearly don't know what the fuck is going on in your life.
She didn't raise me right, sir. And I'm done. I've been done. He got a mouth. Oh, you want a viral mode? Go ahead, sir.
The viral moment was created by you.
Right.
Yeah, the fatigue is real. All right, so let's get the obvious part out of the way, is that the fatigue is real. And I want to get into how I think that this whole situation should have been handled in the first place, right? The woman is clearly disrespectful, right? She's saying, what if I hit you? And when y'all sent me this video, I initially was like, yo, she wrong. But then I think that other people need to mind their business and stay out of it, which I still think that also. But I think that people are getting so fed up and they're getting so sick of it and tired of it that it's hard to defend and even tell people that they need to mind their business, because people are looking now. They are starting to look for moments to insert themselves because they're so disgusted.
Okay, credit to that guy there on his channel. Let's go. I'm not sure if we had an update on this.
Fallout has been reported in the UK.
We know that he is a Sudanese migrant who travelled to Paris, flew to Dublin, and then travelled by bus to Belfast in February 2023, where he was granted leave to remain by the Conservative government. Now, despite these specific details, unique to this case, but similar to several others.
As I've been describing throughout the evening, as we've been seeing across the city.
Sorry about that, you guys. I don't know what happened. We'll get to the next one. See what we got here.
Anthony used to take the life of Austin Metcalf was not a deadly weapon. She said the weapon was too small. She said, was it a switch? Did it have scissors on it? Was it something like a Swiss Army knife? And she said she would have argued that the weapon was simply not a deadly weapon because it was too small. However, we do know that the weapon that Kamala Anthony used did take the life of Austin Metcalf. The woman that she is speaking with says, yeah, after Kamala Anthony did that, he went back to the coach and said he didn't think he hurt him that bad. She's also making this a race issue, saying that Black women in America live in agony every day, especially if they have a Black son. Jasmine Crockett grew up in a privileged neighborhood. She attended schools that cost over $30,000 a year. She was part of a sorority. She went to grad school. Yet she is acting as if she is not one of the privileged few in America. Jasmine Crockett is making this a race issue when it is not a race issue. It is a right or a wrong issue. Someone took a knife to a track meet and stabbed someone. The person that he stabbed lost his life. Therefore, there's consequences. This is not a race issue. It is a right or a wrong issue. Jasmine Crockett is claiming that the knife that Kamala Anthony used.
Okay, Nick's mom there. That's another new lady on TikTok.
A great myth that churches have an automatic 501c3 status with the IRS, granting it tax exemption. That is a huge lie. That is a huge lie. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise of religion. Now, there is custom and practice of churches running around saying they automatically have a 501c3 muzzle, political muzzle to not speak, and that they have this special status as a public charity, which is absurd because a church is not a public charity operating with defined charitable purposes for a state government. They are running around claiming this because of dirty attorneys and dirty accountants, ignorant or willful. Either one, whichever it is, it's wrong. And it's ecclesiastical sedition to run around claiming you have an IRS status under federal law. Again, Congress has made no law automatically bestowing 501c3 status either on ecclesiastical churches, which are structured independently under freedom of religion with no connection to the state. And Congress has made no law granting corporations an automatic 501c3 status. Furthermore, there is no provision of federal law granting any corporation the ability to steal a federal tax ID of a church that the church is using to operate its finances. That is going on broadly across the state, in Georgia and across the country. No, a corporation is automatically subject to taxation. There is no provision allowing the government to give a tax ID of a church to a corporation of like name. Now, this is happening broadly through practice and custom, but it is all high crime and infringement upon basic rights. If you have a question, please let me know. This is very...
Okay, she's a former three-letter word lady that does a good job. Another cat lady, one. Only a minute and a half. Can't play that one. I don't want. She had music on that one, right? Fine, I better not play that one.
Thomas Massie and the USS Liberty incident. And so this is actually where, in my opinion, politics really gets in the way of finding out the truth of a situation. So the USS Liberty was a naval technical ship operating off the Eastern Mediterranean on June 8th. This incident happened on June 8th, 1967. What essentially this would have happened during the 7-Day War between Egypt and Israel. Essentially what Israel was saying is, hey, we told the ship to back off. It was getting too close. And we also said that anything in this area was essentially fair game if you don't clear out. And as a result, they did bomb the ship. They torpedoed it as well. 34 servicemen were killed and 171 were wounded. A lot of information about the attack actually has been declassified. You go to NSA's website, CIA's website, a lot of it's out there. However, there is in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, citing a FOIA request, asking for the remaining information to be declassified. I actually am totally okay with that happening. People are saying that this was purposeful by Israel. And honestly, it may or may not have been. I don't know. It was ruled as gross negligence and I wrote down the conversions of the amounts for you. I have to read them. So in 1968, Israel paid the equivalent of 30.8 million. In 1969, they paid 31 million to the wounded, and their final payment was in 1980 of 23 million to the wounded. So they essentially paid for the damage that they inflicted. And I'm going to be honest, I think this is just my opinion. I think Israel obviously, torpedoed it because it was collecting signals intelligence. It was a US ship that was spying on Israel essentially, and they didn't like that. That's not okay. I'm not saying that that is okay. But the problem is Massey has been so anti-Semitic and anti-Israel and a lot of the things that he said, and that people a lot of times can't get behind some of these things where the truth needs to come out. And there's no issue with that. I think the wounded deserve that as well as the deceased. Also, the US has 100% done stuff like this. I am not saying it's okay, but we need to remember that this is something that happens throughout the world and it's unacceptable. In 1999, we accidentally bombed the Chinese embassy in Belgrade and we said it was because we were using out-of-date maps. Sure. We did the same thing with the Iranian school as well recently, and we also said it was outdated maps. I find that very hard to believe that we would be using outdated maps. In 2015, we accidentally hit in Kunduz a Doctors Without Borders trauma center. So we have absolutely done this stuff before, and we have also paid to these countries for inflicting this damage.
Okay, our other lady. I'll replay that one. Okay, now better? Yeah. I guess she was playing a music video on that one. Alright, what we got next here? I got you a couple Vinny videos here. I got let's do this one here, you guys. We'll play the last two. We'll play with Denny's videos on the last two. 15 minutes, you guys.
Today's body cam footage is going to teach us all how to turn a simple citation into a trip to jail. Because what starts out as a routine trespassing call at Walmart is going to quickly spiral into one of the weirdest encounters that you'll probably see all week. This woman is absolutely convinced that the rules just don't apply to her. The officer isn't really who he says he is, and that somehow Facebook Live is going to save the day. Buckle up, buttercups, because this is one of those body cams where you don't think it's going to get any crazier, and then it does.
On January 26, 2025, officers responded to a Walmart for a call of a trespassed individual returning to the property.
How we doing? Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm good, and you? I'm gonna call 911.
I'm right here.
No, I'm calling 911.
For what?
Because how you doing, honey?
How are you?
I'm good, and you? Happy Sunday.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
No, I'm calling 911 too because I don't want somebody might hurt me. Because I'm here shopping and I can buy all my stuff in cash, but I'm calling. I'm gonna call because I don't want. I want to make sure I'm safe because I don't know who you are. I don't know. I'm shopping.
Okay. We can see you're shopping. What do you mean that you don't know who he is, and so you need to call 911 to see who he is? Like, is he not wearing a uniform? Like, I tend to suspect that he's probably wearing a police uniform, and because you don't believe he's an actual cop, you're going to call 911 to verify? What is happening right now? What? Okay. All right. Well, apparently this woman is shopping. She's approached by a cop. She doesn't really believe he's a cop. Let's see where this goes.
Good morning. Hi, I'm at Walmart, and there's a guy that's here that's supposedly so I don't know. He's saying he's a Naperville police officer, but I'm not sure, and I'm worried because I'm just a woman and I bought my groceries in. Okay, is this Yolanda? This is her. But
does the officer have a uniform on and a vest that says police on it?
Does the officer have a vest on that says police on it? Even the 911 operator is kind of like, is this bitch crazy? What does she mean she doesn't know who he is? Does he have a vest on? Does, police on it? Apparently, they know who she is by name. They must know that this officer is on a call about her right now. So, yeah, just hang up the phone. You're looking foolish.
Yeah, it does. But the thing is I'm not sure if he's an American citizen, though.
Yeah, I'm standing in front of her. You can tell her my name so she can hang up.
That's Officer Buckley. I'm going to disconnect with that.
Okay. Let me call my. Hold on. Let me call my.
Listen, we're not going to do this.
Well, no. I'm about to call my Facebook because, see, I'm not sure. Two people came.
You can do whatever you like on that.
Okay. But I'm like, two people came up to me before. And the thing is hold on, let me do my Facebook thing, and I'm just going.
You can do whatever you like. Listen, you were a trespasser from here?
No, I'm not a trespasser.
Okay, hold on. Why did he just say she can do whatever she likes? She's literally telling him, I'm about to go live on my Facebook. Hold on just 1 second while I click this button here. What do you mean go ahead and do whatever you like? You're there because she's violating trespass. You just said it. She just said it. She's violating trespass. What do you mean do whatever you like? Oh my gosh. Really, officer? Officer. Really? Really? Am I jumping the gun here? Did I misunderstand what he said? Because it sure sounded like he said, go ahead and do whatever you want. That is not the way to handle the situation, officer. She's being trespassed. Tell her to get the out.
Hold on. Before you say that, because that's not true.
Well,
That's
it
not
is true. We have confirmed that you have been trespassed from here, whether you remember or not. So there's going to be two ways that this goes down. Walmart management trespassed you, okay? It is confirmed in our system and through their system that you've been
The
trespassed.
systems are down.
That's
Good
okay.
morning, everybody. Good morning. I want y'all to be on Facebook with us. This is Mr.
Yeah, this isn't going to go the easy way, Frank, and she's not cooperating. You might as well come this way.
I want to make sure y'all get on here and see this. I came up here to go shopping this morning. I got all my groceries. I bought.
Yeah, it's at 4. You're going to have to come in here.
I bought all my. Listen, I bought all my stuff.
You refused last time was issued a ticket.
No, I bought.
What the f was she just doing? Was she licking? She was going like.
Was issued a ticket.
Oh my God. What is she doing? Oh my God. You know, if I ever get confronted by the police and I think I might get arrested, I'm gonna go live on Facebook too. Speaking of, do you follow my socials? All of my social links are down in the video description. I'm on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram if you want to go follow me. Because I promise, if I ever get encountered by a police officer, I will immediately go live and I'll be like, hey, look, I'm getting arrested, bitches.
I don't know, on this one, hey, wild.
I bought all my
9
stuff.
minutes. 9 minutes.
Like with my money.
Let's come in here and figure this out for now, and then we'll try that route again.
Here, this is he says his name is Officer Buckley, but I'm just making sure that we get on here. I'm tired. It's Sunday. I want to go home. I don't want to mess and bother with y'all, but I just want to make sure that I logged in and told y'all. But I'm tired, so I'm just leaving it on here. I'm not gonna. I just want to. I log in with my Facebook.
That's fine.
I'm tired.
Okay. Well, listen.
I'm not a trespasser though.
Okay. Well, you've been issued a citation before. You're going to be issued another citation, and if you do not leave, you will be placed under arrest, and you will go to DuPage County Jail.
Oh, but I don't see. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
After you get 2 citations, then you go to DuPage County Jail. Okay. Is that what we're gonna? Which way do you want to go? Would you like another citation?
No. This is what I'm.
And to leave peacefully, or would you like to get a citation, not leave, and then go to DuPage County Jail?
What's the citation for, honey?
The citation is for trespassing to Walmart, which you've already been issued one prior.
Do you know the Naperville Police Department?
Yes,
they're defunded. There's no money going there.
That's fine. It's still my job, and I need to take care of that. Okay.
The thing is if y'all not being paid to do the job, then you're not.
I am being paid to do the job, and that's what I'm here for. And right now, I'm helping and serving Walmart as.
You have to verify that you're being paid to work for Naperville Police Department. You have to verify that you have a visa to live in the United States. You have to have.
Where are we going about this? This has nothing to do with the situation that we're dealing with right now.
Yes, it is. You have to have a birth certificate and you have to have a social security card. You can't just come at me as a United States citizen and say, "Hey, I'm a police. You got to get out of here." We don't.
No, you were told to get out of here several times prior. This isn't how it's going to go. How would you like this to go? Would you like this to go with a citation?
How you doing, Mr. Franken?
I don't know. Okay, I think is she on something tonight, on drugs or something? I don't know. A lot of excitement she's doing. Wants attention, I guess.
Oh, Mr. Franken doesn't know what he's been walking into. What in the hell is she talking about? Tell me in the comments, what exactly is she talking about? Is she literally trying to say that he has to provide all of this information to prove that he is a legit police officer, that he needs to have like 12 forms of ID, a vial of blood of his firstborn child, proof of citizenship, a pay stub that proves that the police department is actually paying him because according to her, the department is not being funded? What is she talking about? I totally believe that she's been trespassed before. Walmart's probably had enough of her shit. Hell, I'm halfway there.
I like your eyes. You're a nice looking guy.
Gotcha. You do
This is
have.
the thing. No. This is my thing. I'm just letting my Facebook and everybody know.
All right. This is.
Wait. This is
You're going to
my
stop.
Fire, you will be arrested.
No.
You're going to let it go.
You are.
Hey, no. See,
You will be arrested.
No. This is my stuff that
You
I
will be.
bought.
No.
No. We're gonna talk about this because
No.
this is my.
No, we're not.
You're going to talk about it in the jail.
This is my. No, hey,
You're going to
this
talk
is
about
my
it in the
food.
jail.
No.
You are.
You are going to be going to jail.
Food. I bought. Can
Well,
somebody help me?
Let's go.
Somebody from United States, please. Can y'all help me? Because this is not right. Hey, no, because our police
You are going
departments
to jail,
are
or
being
you are.
funded.
You are going to
The
jail.
police departments
Let's
are. Okay, I'm not going to
You
yell.
are-
I know
you are
everybody
going.
heard the ear.
You are going.
Hey, no.
This is not a request.
No. These are my groceries, and I'm
Let's go.
going with them.
Yeah.
Like,
All right. Well,
All right.
Right.
No. If you touching me as
you are under arrest.
No, I'm
You are
not.
under arrest.
No, I'm
You're
not.
being told you are under arrest.
No, I'm not. These are no.
You are being told you are under arrest.
No, I'm not.
You are being told you are under arrest. You are being told. Stop. Drop this now.
I've got this one.
I know. I still got it.
With cash and it's my money and my
You are under arrest. Stop
No, I'm
resisting.
not.
You are resisting. Stop.
The Naperville Police
You are
Department
resisting.
is
Stop.
defunded. These are not real police. No, you're not. I bought my own stuff.
All right, be careful. Those aren't too tight.
I know. I will. I just don't want it.
Understood. No, I get it. And I have her.
Good here?
This is my stuff that I bought with
Go
my
ahead and double lock them.
cash and my money.
I got her.
Hey, it don't listen. And whoever's at the Naperville Police Department, it doesn't matter. This is my stuff. I bought this with
we will just.
Baby, you're not being arrested for shoplifting. You're being arrested for trespass. It's irrelevant that you paid for your shit, okay? They don't care. You are supposed to leave and you're refusing to leave. I don't understand. Okay, here's something else. Here's something else I don't understand. If she already paid for her shit, why is she still there? Why are you still there? Are you there just to cause a scene? Oh, See how ready and willing she was to go live on Facebook? Do you see that? Oh, I bet she went back there knowing that something like this was going to happen and she wanted to catch it on Facebook Live. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? If she got her groceries and already checked out and paid for all of her things, why is she still there? It was like she was there waiting for the police to show up so that she could cause a scene and be on Facebook Live. I should be a detective. All of this is a setup. I bet you she baited these police officers. She baited these police officers for content. You mark my words, she baited these police officers. And now that gives me an idea for going live on Facebook. I want to bait some officers too. Let me know down in the comments, what should I do to bait some officers into an altercation on Facebook Live? Let me know what I should do. Not that I will actually probably do it, but I'm genuinely curious to see what ideas you guys have.
Just that when we get to the jail, and I will speak with Wilma as well. You got that out?
Don't engage her. Just
out of Walmart. No, I don't. What are you doing? You guys are not authorized to do it, and you're not going to get away with it.
You're under arrest.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You're not. First off, you can't arrest people for buying groceries. I bought all of my groceries, every single last one of them.
Hey, madam, which one is the salad fork?
It's the one in the middle.
And this one?
This one is for oysters.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Merlin just ignores me.
Well, again, you're not being arrested for shoplifting, baby. You're being arrested for violating trespass. Were you not paying attention?
I bought every single one of my groceries. Can somebody listen? Call my mom for me. Call somebody for me.
Your feet up.
Hey, that's all of my stuff. Y'all can't just sit there and do that to a lady. No.
You were given a chance. It's over.
Okay. Those are all my groceries that I bought.
And we will find out. And if those are, I'll take care of them for you.
I got the receipts right in my bag.
Anybody in chat?
You know what? The thing
Female.
is,
One person.
I'm here to help. I'm actually one of the people who's here to help everybody from their countries. I know that people in their countries are not getting food, but they need to tell Putin that he needs to stop bombing places, and then people from other countries will get their food. We know that people need help. I'm one of them, and then you guys are taking the help away from here. I live across the street. I'm a United States citizen. I have a birth certificate. I have a social security card. I have everything I'm supposed to have. And I'm one of the people who's helping you guys. I'm helping people from other countries. I'm the person to help you guys. If y'all just keep letting everybody steal everything out the store, it's not going to do nothing for anybody. And let me tell you guys something. They defunded the police departments because they didn't want any more non-pigmented people with non-pigmented eyes working because they know you guys have trouble seeing and hearing. So I apologize if I'm yelling in your ear, but you know what I'm saying? I know exactly what's going on. This is not right. And listen, they're going to charge our countries for all this money.
Have a seat, please.
Go ahead, look at it. I purchased all my stuff. All of my stuff.
Nobody's arguing that. All right. I will take this if you want to just get her in.
The woman was charged with criminal trespassing and resisting arrest.
Clearly.
All right, criminal trespass. There you go. Okay, the last two will be bidding videos.
Office to greet the president and ask for his endorsement to run for president of Ireland, something that I really wish would have materialized beyond a bunch of banging around on social media. Conor McGregor filmed some content at the White House. Sounded like this.
Happy Paddy's Day, America.
Okay. But then when asked by reporters on the same trip why he was at the White House, Conor McGregor gave a much less happy response.
I won't speak about him personally. Every available metric available to us has shown that the government of Ireland currently has failed the people of Ireland. In 10 years, Dublin city centre has gone from one of the most safest cities in Europe to one of the most dangerous. So shame on him for saying that, speaking down on an Irishman. I won't speak about him personally. Throw a jab, I could throw many jabs at them. I could throw jabs handily at them. However, I speak on the metrics, and the metrics show they've failed the people of Ireland. They do not represent the people of Ireland.
Conor,
and I'm
what
here.
do you say to people who feel it's inappropriate for you to be here, given...
God bless Ireland, God bless...
So what Conor McGregor has constantly talked about.
Heart rate elevated. Kill switch activated.
In his social media and in his posting is how Ireland, which has one of the highest migrant birth and migration rates in all of Europe, and these are not European migrants, these are North African migrants, Muslim migrants, changing forever the culture of Ireland, how they have betrayed the people of Ireland. The people of Ireland are poor and have very few opportunities, and they are seeing their futures whittled away by an unlimited and unending wave after wave after wave of third world migration for public benefits and public housing, living in much better houses than the native born Irish, you could argue. Conor McGregor constantly confirming that he's going to run for president of Ireland. Sadly, didn't materialize. He wanted to. Strong comments on immigration. He withdrew mid-September 2025 before securing any nomination. And he said the process was undemocratic. Okay. Well, I hope that he'd reconsider, because now it seems like Conor McGregor is back at it again, because Northern Ireland, which is British territory, but anyway, it's all the same island, is under attack. As a Sudanese man nearly beheaded an Englishman in the street, you're now finding out that the Englishman was special needs. He might have been handicapped, deaf, lost an eye, according to reports, and was slashed nearly to bits, struggling for dear life in the hospital. Conor McGregor calls for immediate ban on immigration from the third world and removal of all illegal entrants after Belfast asylum seeker knife attack. See, you gotta not say all illegal entrants. You gotta say all entrants. Time to just be honest about it. There are some cultures that are incompatible with the West. That's why we call it the West and the East. That's why we actually split up cultures, because there's cultures that want to live a certain way. You can go check on the child brides and gender mutilation and some of the stuff that they do in Afghanistan, and go talk to a GWAT veteran about what they witnessed when they were in Iraq or Afghanistan culturally. Go travel to India and see if you like the culture. If you do, stay there. But like, the point is that not all cultures are the same. And it's okay to like European culture better than other cultures. And it's okay to say that European culture shouldn't become Indian or African culture or Middle Eastern culture. That's okay. Those people might like Sharia law, is what it is. But if I bring over a bunch of people that are going to institute Sharia law, all be living under Sharia law, and I don't want that. So stop saying illegal entrance. Start talking about the cultures themselves, because the places are not magical rocks. There's not magical rocks that make Italy, Italy, or Japan, Japan. It's the people, their histories, their traditions and language, songs and food, and it's all those things all together, their sense of justice, purpose, right and wrong. Do you behead someone in the street if you disagree with them or not? These are some pretty big cultural differences, and it's the people that are the place. If you got rid of all the Japanese people from Japan and it was just like a desolate rock, it was just like an island,
7 minutes,
then it wouldn't be Japan anymore. If you replaced all the Japanese people with, let's say, Russian, like there's like, it's something like just a couple miles that separates Japan and Russia. It's so close. They're so close in proximity. You could sail a boat very easily from Japan to Russia. If you took all those Russians and put them in Japan, it wouldn't be Japan anymore. It'd be Russia, because the people are Russian, and they would bring that. Anyway, I just, it's so stupid. Sometimes it's important to like drill down on what we're actually talking about here. We're talking about the people. So illegal or not, you're going to change your culture if you bring in too many people from a different culture that do not assimilate. And the vast majority of people don't want to assimilate. Let me make that very clear. Okay? That's provable by empirical evidence, but then also by all statistical available polling on this Belfast asylum seeker attack. Conor McGregor has publicly called for the immediate ban on immigration, removal of illegal entrants. Writing on X, the UFC fighter called to close the borders, and inviting and financing mentally deranged people from the third world is a hard no. In a separate post, he demanded a ban on immigration entirely. McGregor has previously spoken out on immigration, obviously a very, very big issue. And Belfast is ablaze right now. Belfast is burning. They attacked public transit, but also went after immigrant housing. Here we go. Close the borders, says Conor McGregor. Entire migration centers, militarily, enter migration centers militarily and remove all illegal entrants from the island. Inviting and financing mentally deranged people from the third world is hard no. Get them out. Stop them from coming. We say no to this. Good. 10,000 reposts, 100,000 likes, 4 million views. Well done. The son of Ireland.
Where the evening finds its perfect finish. Naomi.
Whether you're a professional auto technician or working in your home garage, Harbor Freight.
Here we go. Ban all immigration from the third world immediately, he says, after posting this clip. Let's watch.
Into Northern Ireland in the first place, was it illegally or legally, and was it through the Republic of Ireland? And is that why there's a mix-up on his nationality? Is his visa something different?
Well, in terms of the nationality, you'll be aware this morning our belief was that the male was Somalian. That was from the very quick first look at our investigation. We now know him to be, or believe him to be, Sudanese. In terms of the broader question around the immigration status, I don't want to appear that I'm trying to deflect on this. I think it's absolutely right that the Home Office will give you further clarity on it. But again, working with them this morning, my understanding is that the individual came into Northern Ireland from Dublin, moving up, and then was granted leave to remain. But as I say, colleagues from the Home Office will be.
Pray for our island, says Conor McGregor. Ban all immigrants from the third world now. Help them where they are. As we have done over the years, many times beautifully and nobly, they cannot come here any longer, says Conor McGregor. 11,000 reposts, 129,000 likes. And these are reposts from Conor McGregor. This is what he's been posting on his timeline. The island of Ireland has now attempted an actual beheading per capita, has now more attempted beheadings per capita as a share of homicides since 2020 than the UK and Ireland. Interestingly, a Somalian national was also the culprit in an attempted beheading in the UK. Wow. It's almost like if you bring people from where beheadings are common and normal practice, you'll get beheadings where you put them. Call me crazy, but immigration from the third world countries is not worth public beheadings in the street. When your government is allowing immigrants in, giving them a right to remain,
one or two
you'd think they
be the first
wouldn't
show
enjoy
tomorrow,
stabbing
okay?
people or attempting to decapitate them.
Around there.
But that's where we are in Ireland. That's right. Open borders migrations equal a direct threat to public safety. The last 2 weeks in Ireland, migrants and their offspring have beheaded a woman, attempted beheading of a man, hunted and beat to death, and filmed the murder of a man. A mob of them stabbed a man to death in Ireland's busiest shopping street, are on the street doing voodoo curses and rituals in Ireland's oldest department stores because one of their co-ethnics died after repeatedly robbing the place and breaking an 80-year-old hip. So today, they'd like for you to know that they're putting an African migrant in position of power so these people can one day rule over you. The party and everyone like them need to be burnt for what they've done. That's right. There's a lot of verses in the Bible about this. Be wary of the foreigner, it says in Deuteronomy, for they will eventually rule over you. You won't have any money to lend them. They will have all the money, and they will have all the power. It's biblical. It's quite concerning that all the beheadings and child stabbings and box cutters and slashings and terrorist knife attacks are being used by the far right to whip up dangerous atmosphere in our communities. That's right. So these are all the reposts of... So Conor McGregor is going hard in on all of this. He stabbed 3 little children because he was mad about being refused welfare. Pure evil savagery. Everyone who supports third world migration into Europe is partly responsible for the countless horrors like this. Okay, why don't I just make a quick point here? And well done, Conor McGregor. Thank you for speaking out against this. What makes you think that bringing them into the West is going to magically change them? If their countries, like what do you think we have like magic? If their countries are collapsed third world lawless hellscapes, then maybe you need to start looking more aggressively at the cultures that created those and not thinking that somehow we're just going to magically change them all. This is not a good idea. It's a very bad idea, in fact. It's something that like truly does need a total and complete recalibration. What makes you think that if you bring someone from a place where there's common ethnic beheadings, like Sudan, that you're not going to bring ethnic beheadings into your home? The snake. Go read the poem. I'm a snake. You're the one who brought me in. Conor McGregor on the right side of history here. Please run for office to stop the pure evil savagery. That'd be an amazing outcome here. And mass deportations. Now, it's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe.
Okay, well, I'm glad I got to get 2 shows in. Better late than not at all. Had a busy day today, and then tomorrow I got to do laundry in the morning. So, we'll play it by ear tomorrow. See how things go with what develops tonight with the war tonight. So, another good night, Rintel. Thanks, Mod. Mine's okay. Lucy, Carol, Tim. And love us, everybody. Love all. Remember, please hit the like and stay safe, stay strong, keep the faith. There we go. And signing off for Wednesday. We might have Mel tomorrow. Spas. Tonight is her Wednesday, I think. So hopefully we'll have her tomorrow. All right, Chico Dude signing off for Wednesday.